really use that particular song to woo her, to win her. I'm glad to have everyone listening, and I'm sure you are with your journals and with your Bibles because today we will be learning. I'll be learning together. I have two amazing people in the studio joining me in the studio today, and I want to recognize them. First, I want to recognize Mr. Busayo, who is live with me in the studio of Vintage 93.7 FM Oluyole Ibadan. Mr. Busayo, how are you doing, sir?
Afternoon, I'm good. Good to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. Have you eaten Sunday rice yet? Or you don't eat Sunday rice yet?
I'm planning on that.
You are working on that. Okay, thank you so much for coming. As he's an amazing man, and I'm glad to have a man on first today in the studio. And yes, MMG, my amazing MMG. Anytime I call on her, she's always there. In fact, if not that, or the kind of friendship we have, people that be asking, are you sure you are not using that big? Because the two of us are always collaborating. And the two of us are let's do things together. And I have three amazing women like that. I have MMG, I have Lucessa, and I have Visa Express. I need these three women. Anytime I call on them, I am sure that they will answer. MMG is joining us from the United Kingdom today. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for
Good
having me
afternoon.
here today.
Yes, 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 yes. We are glad to have you, and we're going straight into the conversation right now to do all the gisting and all the talking. Right. The topic is simple: how to balance work and relationship. How to balance work and relationship. Uh, Generally, people call it work-life balance. Work-life balance. Your ability to balance every aspect of your life. So I want to start with you, MMG. Do you think it's even a reality? Like for someone like you, the type of jobs that you do, the type of things that you get to do you even think it's a reality? MMG.
Why I said
Hello,
I think
MMG.
it is.
Mhm.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So the reason I said yes, I think it is, and the reason why I think it is because of the fact that I have on more than one occasion burnt out. And many years ago, this was around 2015, 16. I
Yes.
lost a group of friends because I didn't have that
Wow.
work-life balance. What do I mean
Wow.
by I lost a group
Wow.
of friends? As in, these
Mm,
were girlfriends that I had prayed for. I'd
mm,
prayed for God to connect me to people so that I could make
mm.
friends. And what
Yes.
happened? Every time they called me to come and go out to do this or to do that or to come for this event, I was always at work.
Wow.
I had
Wow.
prioritized. Oh my gosh, I had so much bills to pay, blah blah blah. Then I
Yes.
was in my,
Yes.
early 20s,
Okay.
early late
Okay.
20s. So for me, it was like, I have so much bills to pay. I have so much bills to pay.
True.
All that was
True.
in my head as of that 2015, 2016 was bills, 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 bills.
Mm.
And I didn't understand the value of the friendships that I had been given. And eventually everybody
True.
stopped inviting me out.
Wow.
Eventually people stopped reaching out to me because it was always a
Mhm.
case of either I would disappoint them and say, oh, I'm sorry, I had to go to work, or
Yes.
I was always putting work over relationships. And I didn't
Wow.
understand the impact of what I was doing to myself until the day where I no longer had work and I had nobody except my old friends like my Auntie V in Cambridge
Yes.
and this family that I had as family friends then in
Mhm.
Birmingham, the Mackin days. And I was like,
Okay.
wow. And these were all older people. I didn't have anybody else within my age group anymore. And I
Wow.
realized, oh, okay. And because of that, I ended up in a friendship that I thought was really, really healthy, but it was
Mhm.
actually quite toxic. But then that was because of I didn't know what good friendships were because I had let go of the good
True.
ones because of
True.
work.
True. True. I understand that. I understand that. So for
And so
someone
when I
like
finally
you,
saw one, I now quickly held
yes.
on to it thinking, oh, this is something good. It wasn't.
Mm, mm. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction into the topic. So I'm coming to Busayo. Busayo, for you, like what has it been like? Do you think that this is even possible? That us having work and life, balancing them, balancing work and balancing our relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or relationship with friends and families. For you, first of all, do you think it's possible? Do you think it's a reality?
Yeah, I strongly believe it's a reality. It's something that we must be intentional about to work. Right? One of the things I feel is more healthy in life to have a work-life balance.
Yes.
Right. When it is tilted too much in any area, then the life is definitely going to have a lot of crisis
Yes.
and dysfunctions. So it's very important we know how to balance our work and life, our relationships. They are very vital. That's just one thing. They are very vital. You cannot do without your work, right? That one is serious. It's a necessity.
Like
Yeah.
MMG said, you have to pay your bills.
Exactly. You have to pay your bills. You can't do without your work.
Yes.
And also you can't do without your relationships because they are your support system. Like
Exactly.
she said, when she lost her work, she realized the importance of those relationships that
True.
she left behind.
True.
So if we are not conscious, there are sometimes that one thing demand more than the other.
That's
but you
right.
have to know how to balance it. Sometimes your work is taking more demand. But you have to be intentional with balancing your relationships as well. Not making the people in your life feel like, oh, I'm working, I'm trying to pay my bills, you should understand. No, acknowledge that they need you, acknowledge that they want. You should be happy that there are some people that actually seek your attention.
Yes, that's
Like
right.
when she got to the point where she lost her friends, she realizes that, oh, I wish I had people that are actually looking for my attention at this point. But when they were looking for your attention, they were like, oh, I want to pay this, I want to pay. If all they needed was an acknowledgement of their attention that, oh, we want to have you around, we want to spend time with you. We should have spend more time, or we have time to spend more time with people that actually care about having us in their lives. It will be more important that by the time that we need them the most,
Yes.
they will be happy to be there for us.
The thing about it is that what MMG has said, MMG was just able to actually break it down and explain for us the reality of most of our lives at
Yes.
one time or the other, right? At one time or the other, where we actually felt that, oh, we needed to pursue this and achieve this, and we sacrifice another aspect that will make us balance, right? So this is why I'm coming to you, MMG, right? And I'll be asking MMG, you know, for many times we get to have a lot of bills to pay, right? Yeah, we just need extra money, not even because we want to throw this money away, we want to waste this money, but we sincerely need this money to run our lives, to live our lives, to enjoy the basic of life. And while we are in that reality, while we are having that, we realize that what the amount of work hours we need and the number of jobs we need to do gets to increase, which will make family and relationship and people suffer. And to be sincere, I love the way you went about it, because you did not pick it from the romantic part that most people would do. You, MMG, decide to pick it from the general human relationship part, that basic need of human connection. So I would like to ask you, MMG, by the time you started to balance things out, were you losing money? Did you lose money?
To be honest, no, I didn't lose money. To be honest, I didn't, because what I did was this time around I started to carry my friends
Yes.
along.
Okay.
And how did I do this? One of the things was I made sure to never forget to celebrate their important milestones.
Mhm.
You know, it's not just enough to make a social media post or put them on your WhatsApp status. Send them a gift when it's their birthday. Send them a gift when it's Christmas.
Mhm.
Acknowledge their wins. You know, you see one or two things that, for example, Nigerian social media at the moment, it is 1 week one drama, 1 week one drama. You pick up the phone and say, babe, have you seen what's happening on social media? For example, we just finished from Chivido and Sharon. You can say that and just about this, like, did you see the wedding? Everything looked hot. But did you see what that is actually like what I'll call healthy gossip. You're not gossiping about people's lives. It's literally about the gossip that is a celebrity's life. You guys can use that to that gist. And from there, it's like, how far now? What's going on with you? Anything new? Are you okay?
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
You may not be able
Yes.
to physically see them, but you should make sure that they feel your presence.
That's
through
true.
phone calls, through WhatsApp. Like I have a friend who I haven't seen Nora in weeks, but she will see one funny thing on Instagram. She will send it to me on my Instagram page. If I ignore it on Instagram, she'll come and send it to me on WhatsApp. So I must open it
Wow.
and read it so that I can reply to her. And I reply to her. If I don't reply, she'll be like, she'll call me that, oh, I saw a message and I ignored it. So I reply, and either it's something funny or it's something that maybe kiss my teeth and say people are stupid. That kind of thing. And then she will call me and start a conversation. So, you know, so
Yes,
you know, I
continue.
mean, I have a friend, another friend of mine, Lola. When Lola and I are talking, if Lola and I can stay on the phone talking for like 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes I'm at work when I'm talking to Lola because I'm self-employed. So I'm either
Yes.
cleaning or doing some laundry for my clients. And Lola can spend. I remember the other day where she spends a good 5 hours with me at work on the
Wow.
phone, just keeping
Wow.
me company.
Wow.
And we're moving from one gist
Wow.
to the other. In fact, she
Wow.
was giving me some Instagram gist because I'm not on Instagram. She's on
Yes.
Instagram. Give me some Instagram gist that happened about this person that I did not know, this one, that one. I'll be like, as in, so I have another one of my friend that's, she's a Coral BD fan like me. So whenever Justin has done something recently, babe, have you seen the latest one Justin did? I said, what did that unfortunate man do again? So we are all busy women, but we find social media, articles to keep ourselves busy and talking and just keep ourselves connected. And I
Thank you
always
so
make sure
much.
we
Okay,
celebrate
yes.
each other's birthdays. If I know that they are struggling financially with something or the other, I may not have much, but to say, oh, you just see, Amazon has dropped a box of something, just to say, hey, keep your chin up. I don't have to wait for their birthdays. So there are ways to maintain that friendship while still balancing work. And at the same time, you need to also prioritize having a break for your own self, for your own health. And the reason I say that is because of I have done myself by my own self in a way with that, whereby I ended up giving myself high blood pressure that needed medication. Like my GP had to
Wow.
force me on
Wow.
medication because
Wow.
my self-help medication, my natural medications I was using to maintain it before, no
Yes.
longer worked. I ended up giving myself a hernia.
Wow. Wow.
And I've done so much hurt to my own body by overworking.
Wow.
So
Wow.
now I'm
Wow.
losing money now compared to before
Yes.
where I was working non-stop Monday to Sunday. This one, that one. I'm the one losing money now.
So sorry. So sorry. So sorry for that. But it's good that you had to identify this thing because many people don't, right? Many people don't usually get to spot these things or identify these things early in life until maybe when they are old. And that's what usually happens even with our daddies. You hear people say by the time the man gets old, he's not abandoned. The wife and the children, they have abandoned him. The children are taking him on a move and they have abandoned him and the rest. The truth about it is that they were so focused on providing, so focused on paying bills, so focused on work and their career path, doing it for the benefit of the family without balancing it out in the human connection and the human relationship with their family, with their spouse and with their children. And once we are able to balance our work life and our relationship, it improves our mental health. This is your radiotherapist, right? And your radiotherapist is reaching you live from Vintage 93.7 FM Oluyole, Ibadan. What we do is to see as much as possible to help people with their emotional life, with their mental health, with their relationships, with their marriage, and also with their family. So that's what we do here on this particular program. And I'm glad I'm having MMG join us from the United Kingdom and Busayo join us from Ibadan. Interestingly, my guests are also in the same cleaning and laundry industry. They both, they both did that. So obviously, one way or the other, you guys must have also cleaned up your life. Like you must have come to that situation where you just discover that no, if we are pursuing money too much and we are pursuing work too much, we may lose everything. So I'll come to Busayo before I come back to MMG and we'll pick it up from where we stop. So Busayo, I would like to ask, for someone like you on a regular week, like MMG has shared with us, Nora, was an amazing person. And while MMG was sharing that with us, you did chip in that every one of us will need a Nora in our lives, right? So MMG was able to share with us how she tried to balance, to create some more time and create some more space for her friends. And for example, her friend Nora was even there to share work hours with her. Now, for you, I know this is not terrible for those who are entrepreneurs. I mean, people who work for themselves, people who own their own business. We may create time for our staff. So my staff know that work hours is Monday to Friday, and it is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The typical 9 to 5, right? That's what I do for my staff. But then for someone like me, I don't have work hours. Sometimes I'm waking up 4 a.m. and I've started working. And I work before every other person resumes. And even after everybody has closed, I'm still working. I kept on working till past 11 yesterday. But I ensured I slept well in the afternoon. Right. So MMG has shared with us a bit of her day. It's like, so I would like to ask you, for you, how do you get to do that balance? Work and relationship, family, friends, significant other, and people in your life.
For me, how would I put this now? I did not really learn work-life balance.
Okay.
So one of the common things I have, especially from my family, my sister would say, if you get married, so it's more or less like they used to say in this part of the world that when you are getting married,
yes,
you are bringing a wife into the family.
That's
right. But myself is like, it's like they're marrying you out. That's a man. That at this point, that you don't even really get to check up on people like that.
Yes.
Like, what will happen when you get married and you have your wife, you have everything to think about and cater off? Then it means that we will not even be on your radar. So I have to be intentional about that. You understand? There was a day my dad had to call me with, "Well, what is wrong with you? You don't even call your father. What is wrong with you?" Like, it was really, I could feel the emotions behind the what's going on there? Is it that bad? But is it spoke to you? No. So I have to be more intentional about balancing my work,
yes,
and my life. So when I learned that, I have to realize that, okay, you have to at least, if you know that you might not be able to remember
sure,
at intervals,
sure,
fix a time.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Fix a time. So I started fixing the time. So it's already at the back of my mind that, okay, every weekend I must reach out to everyone.
Wow.
At least.
Wow.
Every weekend.
Wow.
So across the week, if it crosses my mind, there's another thing that happens to me, procrastination. Across the week, if it crosses my mind, maybe I'm not here for, maybe something makes me remember.
Yes.
I'll be like, I'm busy. I will do it later. I will call later. I will message later. Do it
now.
Understand? So stuff like that keeps me on the edge of making sure that I keep that work, and it's very important because they say family is everything.
Yes,
these are the people that really care about you, that will be there for you no
yes,
matter what. And people know if you mess up, they will still be there, but they will feel the pain that we are actually ready to give it all for you, but they are not reciprocating in that regard.
True.
So one thing I would say is about balancing work and life. Like I like what MG said, and when she talked about her friend that they were speaking on the phone as she was working, right? Yes. It's a very key thing to know how to synchronize your work life and your relationship life.
Yes.
The best way to have a healthy lifestyle is to know how to synchronize it. Some people try to pause one for the other. It's not sustainable in a sense for me. For you to pause your work life, to do your relationship.
But we have to pay bills.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
We
have to pay bills.
Like she said, there was nothing bad in when she was working.
Yes.
And she was speaking to her friend. That's a good quality time. That's a good time of spending with someone.
You know, the thing about it is the fact that I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study right now. Yes. And it's good that it is not only Nigeria that is suffering economic crisis. We know that many top nations of the world, so the UK, the US, they are also having some economic challenges right now. The Russia-Ukraine war has also contributed significantly to it, in addition to the general climate change, right? So now it means that before, if you were me in Nigeria, like the typical lawyer, and that's because I'm a lawyer and I'm also a counseling psychologist, right? So as a lawyer, you just know that law will be able to pay your bills. Like you are a lawyer, that's what you do. But these days, I'm a counselor. I'm a counseling psychologist. I am a lawyer, and yet it's like these bills are not ending.
Yeah,
I started another business right now. I've opened another business, and I'm trying to say, what's this timer is called? We call it this timers that fly during the rainy season. And the rest, is it Esusu? Yes. So Esusu and the rest, the Igbos call it, is it Aku? Those of us that are Esan, we call it Isiku. And the rest. So I just started open another business to be doing that. I deliver that as because it's spontaneous, yes, as another source of income. These different businesses and the different things we need to do places so much demand on our time. Not just on our time, it also places a lot of demand on our emotions. So we may actually come home and now we are tired. You want to call, you want to spend time with people and you are tired. And now I will start with MMG and I'll come back to you on this same question, Mr. Busayo. MMG, I remember how you would always travel, how you take trips to see as much as possible you could serve clients and the rest. And now you're doing multiple things. Glad you're a business owner, you are trying to do multiple things. Business owners don't work for salary. So an employee knows that at the end of the month, I'm going to get his salary. Business owner is pursuing targets. At the end of the month, we want to earn more. It is always profit and the rest. How were you able to do it, MMG? In the past, how did you evolve to this present person you are now, that you were able to now create time for your friends outside work? Not just time, you are also able to reserve energy, that mental energy, that emotional energy to be available for your friends. Because people can be there physically. They are there physically, but they are not there emotionally. They are not there when it comes to their minds. How are you able to do that, MMG? MMG. Okay, until
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. My health forced me to reprioritize. And that's just the honest truth. I could come and lie and give a nice shady answer and say, oh, I woke up one morning and had a deja vu feeling. No, that's BS. My health forced me, whereby I developed plantar. I always had plantar fasciitis for my young days of working ridiculous hour on poly one shoes. Then I had major surgery in 2021. Then my insurance refused to cover me. I had income protection insurance, and they refused to cover me for me to be able to recuperate at home. I was now forced to go back to work. I put my body under unnecessary strain, put my feet under unnecessary strain, and like I said, that's when I ended up now with the blood pressure issues. My plantar fasciitis flared up. I ended up with a hernia. So I had to literally let go of some clients because I couldn't physically do it anymore. Now, at the moment, I can't even work my cleaning job without a back brace. And now I have to do my cleaning job with somebody else because I can't do it by myself anymore like I normally do. Yes. So my health took a dangerous turn, and that's what made me have to sit down and start evaluating. Then earlier this year, for years, I've been trying to go into an online business, and it just was not working out, but I was not beating myself up about it. This did not work. No, I moved to the next one. I'm someone that is always very content. I don't compare myself with anybody. I don't compare my story or my life with anybody else's.
Yes.
So I just kept working at it. And then last year, there was a gap in the market for teaching new immigrants into the UK how to apply for NHS jobs and civil service jobs.
Oh, great.
That's why I was able to enter and fill the gap, and there was nobody providing the kind of service I was doing. The people that were providing the kind of service were doing it for them. I don't do it for anybody. I teach you how to do it yourself and, empower you with the skills. There was no person in the market doing that. And that's how I built the business, and that's what I'm currently doing now as my online business. I still have my physical cleaning business, but it's no longer 14 clients like I had before. Now I only have like 3 clients.
Body tell you.
Body don't tell me. And I only have 3 permanent clients, and now I have clients that come in once in a year to come and do like spring cleans. My old clients, Before, I had
Mm.
14 clients that I was doing in a month, Monday
Wow.
to Sunday,
Wow.
14. Weekly,
Wow. Wow.
bi-weekly, monthly, 14 by
Mm.
myself.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm. Mm.
2021, my health took a turn for the worse. So I had two choices: either sit down and wallow, or sit down
Yes.
and figure out the next steps. I kept trying to figure out the next steps. Nothing was clicking, nothing was working. No wahala, we kept pushing. And
Yes.
then last year, the floodgates opened and the opportunity came. And this
Wow.
year
Wow.
is when I actually started to monetize it. I wasn't monetizing it last year. I was doing it for
Oh.
free. I started
Oh,
to monetize it
interesting.
this year.
Yes.
This year, February was when I started to monetize it for the first
Wow.
time.
Wow.
And that's
Wow.
how I came onto the second part of my business. And
Mm-hmm.
then a year and a few months ago, I
Mm.
turned my spare room into an Airbnb for an extra income coming in because my body just couldn't do it anymore.
Anymore.
So at the end of the day, I paid the
Mm.
price. My husband's finances paid the price because I ended up having to max out his credit card because I couldn't work and
Wow.
money wasn't
Wow.
coming in. So at the end
Wow.
of the
Wow.
day, the overworking came back to bite me. It came back to bite
Mm.
me financially, mentally. It took me into a deep, deep, deep depression.
And you must have at
And
that moment realized that life is just beyond work and life is beyond
exactly,
all the monies you
exactly
have
like
to earn.
like with all the working I'm doing, the time I
Yes.
needed now to be able to use the money I've worked for to be able to rest, I couldn't.
Yes.
I ended up with
Yes.
no insurance, no income
Wow.
support insurance for my work. So I was
Wow.
forced back to work, ended up with a hernia,
Mm.
and it was a very vicious cycle. So eventually it will come back and bite you if you don't make that
True.
priority now. And I've
True.
had to learn it. So with my online classes, I do it back to back for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. After that, I take
Okay.
like almost a week break
Oh.
where
Oh.
I
Oh.
literally
I get
just
that.
shut down at home. It's only my occasional
Oh.
cleaning jobs I do. And if I cannot do
Yes.
it, I ask one of my friends who works with me to help me do it.
So heavy do it. I
It do-
like I
does it
like the
doesn't cost
part.
me money. It does cost me more money, but at the end of the
Yeah, enjoy
day,
more life.
I'm enjoying my life. Exactly.
Yeah, enjoy more life. We cannot take that away from the fact that we enjoy more life. And I must mention at this time, when you talked about creating time for your friends, getting gifts for their birthdays, remembering them on their birthday, MMG spoils me this last birthday. I mean, she spoils me all the way from the UK. I received gifts, as in gifts the way I like it. People who know me know that I like food. So if you know me, you know I like food. So she ensured that I had consistently or what will make me enjoy good food. Like she supplied it and it was nice and the rest. And why MMG was talking about her health and her being unable to balance that work life caused her some relationship issues and of course also caused her health issues. I remember how in a period of 3 years, I was being told that I was having high BP. Family and friends, how old was I? Like on a very serious side, I asked myself, how old I be? My papa not get high BP. So where me, this one BP come begin to get high BP from? And it was serious. I remember going to the clinic twice in UCH, and my doctor said telling me, sir, you need to watch your blood pressure. And the last thing one of my doctors told me was, all right, if I had seen your last result, I would have placed you on medication. And that was an awakening. You know, that was an awakening. It was not just only that, that one that also awakened me. I remember one time I noticed, because this is your radiotherapist, right? And so we are trying to see how to help people deal with their mental life, deal with their relationship, their marriages, and their family, right? So I remember one time I just noticed that something was wrong with my mental health. I was beginning to forget things. I was not suffering from anxiety. There was this unnecessary stress and unnecessary worry. And one day I trashed 500 naira. No, not 500 naira. One day I trashed 500 naira. At another time, I trashed about 1,005. Like my brain actually saw it like that, so I trashed it. And I had to rush to speak to another therapist. And I talked to Lucia Do Francis, and I said, guy, see what is happening to me. Please diagnose me, assess me, and give me your decision. And by the time he was done, he said, all right, I'm going to place you on some therapeutic things. And if you don't get better in 3 to 5 days, I will refer you to a psychiatrist. The moment I heard I will refer you to a psychiatrist, I was like, hey, they want to place me on medication again. Nobody told me. I had to buy mat. I had to get a mat in my office. Once it is 12:30, I tell my office assistant I'm going to sleep. I pull out the mat and I sleep for some time before I wake up again and continue with life. And a time came, I started asking myself, if I don't give my children the attention that they need, if I don't give my wife and my family with the attention that they need, I would still be the one to suffer it at the end of the day. So if you're listening right now, or you're watching us on YouTube, or for those who are watching us on Facebook Live, I would like to let you know that if you don't right now, we are not talking about tomorrow. So it's not something you are going to start tomorrow or you are going to start next year. If you don't at this moment, try to do things to balance work and family, balance work and relationship with friends, with your significant other, with your romantic other. You don't make deliberate steps to ensure that you balance work with resting, like MMG has said, and she has experienced herself. And of course, from my own experience, you will suffer. You will suffer. Let's pray to God that you survive it, because almost all the clinical challenges MMG mentioned, I have also suffered them, right? Because of stress and because of work. And then let me come to you, Busayo. How do you adapt to changes and unexpected demands in your work and personal life? How are you able to do that adaptation? There are things that just pop up, right? Especially for the good thing about it is that the three of us on this particular conversation, we are all business owners, right? So we are the people who don't have working hours, and we are the people who get always the unexpected calls. Somebody just calls you right now. Somebody just makes a booking. Somebody wants a particular service right now. It does not also apply to people who are in employed services. But for us that own businesses, we live for the daily surprises. We expect the calls every day. We expect to take fresh challenges and crazy challenges that we may not know about every day. So how can you adapt to the changes of these unexpected demands that may just come? For example, you may say, oh, this 1 hour I want to spend it with my friends. And somebody just calls you and there's one big money. Family and friends, there's one big money somewhere. And you are here to complete the school fees of your children. Like the gift you are supposed to buy for yourself, or you are supposed to buy for a family member, or that donation you are supposed to make, you have not yet made it. And now you are supposed to spend this time with your friends. Bam! There's a call. There's an email. How do you get to adapt? Because this is our everyday life. How do you get to adapt to those kind of situations, those unexpected demands?
Yeah. So one thing I've learned in this kind of situations,
yes,
one, communication is
key. Mm-hmm.
So if you know the lifestyle you live, one, you have to make the significant people in your life,
yes,
understand the kind of life you live,
mm-hmm,
understand the demands of your work. Mm-hmm. Right? You don't just sugarcoat it, or like you make them understand what it takes.
Yes.
And make them see. That's why I was talking about, like, the best way to, how would I say it now, have a healthy lifestyle, right? Balancing your work and your relationship.
Yes.
Is being able to synchronize it, in the sense that when they are able to see the demands your workplace on you,
yes,
they will be able to understand and also know how to demand your time. But if they don't have this knowledge, they will feel you are just not being regarding them.
I'm telling you, just to chip in, not to stop you, but just to chip in, is the fact that I had to start making clients realize that I have working hours. Like, see, Tom, once it's 8 p.m., I cannot take calls again. In fact, in my booking forms, I had to now mention that if you ever call beyond so time, you are going to be charged double, right? So, that's to, just emphasize on that, is that you said, if you don't let people know your boundaries, they will take it. They will take. In fact, people can sometimes act like the devil in the Bible. Where it says, do not give him a foothold. Do not give him a foothold, because if you give him a foothold, he's going to take a mile. He will take it. He will not be considerate at all. Just give me one plot, and before you know, we are talking about hectares, right? So you may continue, sir.
Yeah. So we have to be intentional about that, right? And as much as you put a boundary in your workplace, right, to make them know the boundary between your work and your relationship life. You also have to make the people in your relationship, your family, your loved ones, right, make them understand the demands of your work as well.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
These people are not just overly wanting to just knowing you or whatnot, because sometimes
True.
that's how we
True.
feel, like,
True.
what's wrong, right?
True.
But if they know better, they will do better. If you make them understand what it takes to live the kind of life you are living, right?
Yes.
They will understand how to place a demand, and out of compassion, they will be able to even augment.
Yes.
So, like she said, if you have a way of synchronizing it, if sometimes you can make them experience or see what you
actually go through,
exactly,
what is taken from you,
the demands it takes from you, and they can find a way to see what it takes, right? They will know that, okay, this person is not just trying to lay off the advances of spending time with us, and so they will also learn to be compassionate with you and also help you in that regard. So it's very important that we communicate. So if we want to balance it properly, communicate with the people in your life. Make them see, make them understand what it takes for you to live the life that you are living. So as for me, I work more when this timing of a thing happen, right? It's very important for me. I communicate immediately.
Okay.
So that's one thing I don't joke with.
Yes.
So because sometimes we might, if we put it to chance, like I said before, I learned from it. But if you put it to chance, sometimes you're looking like, I'm working. You should understand that I'm working. But if you don't actually make them see, right, the demands of the work we are doing, they will really not understand, and you cannot blame them for it.
That's true.
It's just a simple truth. You can't blame them for it. Same thing when you know, when our parents were raised us, you know, a lot of family had this issue when growing up. I want to provide for my child. I work, I do this, I do that, and then years later, you feel like you are disconnected with that child, and you're blaming the child. I'm working for you.
I did all of this for you.
Hey, you did not communicate well.
The thing about it is that, and again, for what I would like to ask to that is that even if you are communicating, you still have to create what I would call quality time. Right? Now, there's a place of quality time, and there's also a place of quantity time. You can imagine the way MMG mentioned that Nora will spend about 5 hours with her. Like, you could feel the excitement we shared in the studio that somebody spent 5 hours with you on call.
No, sir, it wasn't my friend Nora, it was my friend Lola. Nora is the one that me and her we gist every day for at least an hour or two about different social media events.
Okay, yes, thank you. So thank you for that. Now imagine Lola spending that time, right? So we are getting to have people giving that quality time. Sometimes I sit down and I ask myself, in the last week, how many hours in all did I spend with my wife? How many hours did I spend with Akon? How many hours did I spend with Killan? Separate from the hours I spent with them as my family. Like, did I actually give these people quality time? Did I give them quality attention? Did I also give them quantity? Like that availability. And the reason is simple, is that the moment you are able to balance this relationship, your work life and relationship, is you'll be able to have a higher relationship satisfaction. Like you are able to see there will also be growth in your life, growth in your interpersonal relationship with people. You will feel healthier. You have a stronger support system, right? And you know people will show up for you. See, these people may not be able to solve your problem, but they will be able to pray for you. They may not be able to solve the problem or pray for you, but they'll be able to wish you well. They may not be able to solve the problem, pray for you, and wish you well, but they will be there to listen, right? They will be there to crack jokes with you, to eat with you, to spend all those times with you. So we cannot in any way just downplay the fact that, oh, as long as I'm making money for them, or as long as I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I have seen it again and again in my job as a counseling psychologist. And I've also seen it in family courts where people come and complain like you were not there, or you paid all their bills.
Yeah, that's one thing I would like to add. That communication is key in the sense that you might have thought that, oh, this is what they need.
Yes.
But without communication, you will actually not understand
what they truly need. So,
like you mentioned now, if the quality time you mentioned, right? If the people I have around me, I have to communicate with them to really understand what quality time really even
means to them. And you're involved in their lives and the rest.
You might even spend quality time and not spend quality time.
In fact, I want to stop you there because I want to ask MMG this question. And for those who may want to call in into the studio, of course, I've been enjoying this conversation with MMG, who is joining us from the UK, and Mr. Busayo, who is in the studios with me here on your radio therapist, which is reaching you from Vintage 93.7 FM Oluyole, Ibadan, right? I've enjoyed the conversation. Sorry, I have not told you to call in, sis, or giving you the opportunity to come in. And that's because these people have been busting my head and they have been sharing amazing tips that can help you better your mental health, better your relationship with other humans in your life. So in case you want to call in, you can call us on 0704 7000 937. Yes, you can call in 0704 7000 937. You could also call in 0909 999 7937. I will call the number again, 0909 999 7937. MMG, I want to ask you these questions, right? You have shared for us some of the benefits of you balancing your work life and relationship. You know, I get the way you when I look at the things you share about your husband, for example, and I see how he spends significant time playing with children, right? He spends significant time playing with children and the rest. So I want you to ask, what will be your suggestions and your recommendation to people to balance work and relationship? What would be your suggestion? How should they do that relationship? Should they play more? Should they go out more? Should they eat together more? What are some of the recommendations you would like to give?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello? Okay, all right. Okay, so some of the recommendations I would like to give is, let's start with this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened? We stopped hearing MMG. MMG, okay. Why MMG?
Can you
why
hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can hear
because
you
I'm
now.
reading,
Yes,
I'm reading off my notes. So
okay,
that was
great.
why.
Awesome.
Okay. Let me know if you stop hearing me.
No problem, ma'am. Now I have stopped hearing you.
Me
I
now.
have stopped hearing. Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
now.
so I'm going to drop my response in the studio chat so that I can read it out.
Okay, that's fine.
Because since I keep going out of the chat to read, that's why it's causing me problems.
There's no problem. And why you? Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Balancing work and relationship involves prioritizing time, maintaining open communication, like my co-host said, and setting boundaries. Again, all the things my co-host has already said.
Yes.
So here are some strategies. Set priorities. Determine what's most important to you in both your career and your relationship.
Yes.
Make sure both you and your partner are clear about these priorities.
True.
Schedule quality time.
Yes.
Dedicate specific times for your partner, for your friends, just as the way you would do so for work meetings.
True.
This helps ensure that your relationships don't get ignored and it gets the attention it needs.
Okay.
So
yes, I have about 1 minute for you. Just less than 1 minute for you, MMG. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
So
because our time is up, we actually would have gisted long. You may continue, ma'am.
Hello?
Oh, okay. Yes, please.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it on in the YouTube link as a little write-up.
Also, thank you. And for those who are following on Facebook, you will also be able to see it. You'll be able to see it under this video on Facebook. For those who are joining on Facebook, what MMG wants to share with us. Thank you, MMG, for joining us from the United Kingdom. And Busayo, before I let you go to your house, because you are here with me in Ibadan, MMG has been with us from the UK and has been amazing to have her. So, Busayo, what will be your final words?
So my final words will still be that learn to communicate. Learn to communicate, and the best way to have a healthy work and relationship life is to learn to communicate the necessary things that you should communicate.
Yes.
When people, like I said earlier, when people know better,
They will do better.
So it's when there's this word they use now, when your desires are not well communicated,
Yes.
when your needs are not well communicated, there's no way people can really actually meet them.
Thank you.
And balancing your work life and your relationship life is very key to having a healthy lifestyle. So you have to learn a way to synchronize the two, and also make sure that you don't suspend one for the other for too long. So learn to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bisaya. Thank you so much, MMG. Men and brethren, brothers and sisters, daddies and mommies, aunties and uncles, right? Wherever you are listening to us from, this is your radio therapist reaching from Vintage 93.7 FM, Oluyole, Ibadan. It happens every Sunday by 1 p.m. So bring out your phones right now and set an alarm for 1 p.m. every Sunday, Vintage 93.7 FM. Oluyole, Ibadan. I have to go. We have to go. We still have a lot of things we would have loved to talk about, but our time is up and we have to go. So this is what I want to tell you. As much as possible, ensure you pick every day, 24 hours, and give sufficient time to yourself, to your self-care, to your family, your relationships, and the people around you. If you can do everything possible not to work more than 10 hours a day so that you have sufficient energy for other people, I would like it. My name is El and I'm all right. And from the studios, I say you rock. Okay.